All right, China has raised their tariffs on America up to 84%. And what they're not realizing is that it's literally impossible to beat us in this tariff war simply because China makes most of their money off of exports to America and other places, while America doesn't really make that much money off of imports going into China. We could take it all the way up to 1,000, 20,000, a million percent, and we would still win because China absolutely could not take it that far because they actually solely rely on us. But let's hear it from Kevin O'Leary. Looks like we might take things up to 400% to get back at China. Check it out.
I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it and sell it back here. Never has an administration.
400% tariffs? What would that look like?
I want Xi on an airplane to Washington to level the playing field. This is not about tariffs anymore. Nobody has taken on China yet, not the Europeans, no administration for decades. As someone who actually does business there, I've had enough. I speak for millions of Americans who have IP that have been stolen by the Chinese. I have nothing against the Chinese people. They brought great literacy, art, and tech to the world. The government cheats and steals, and finally, an administration, you may not like Trump, you may not like his style or his rhetoric, finally, an administration that puts up and says enough. 400% tariffs tomorrow morning. He'll tell you why. Xi can only stay the supreme leader if people are employed. If we wipe out any business there, because we are still 39% of all consumables on Earth and 25% of the world's GDP, America is the #1 economy on Earth with all the cards. We will not have that forever. It's time to squeeze Chinese heads into the wall now.
Well,
I'm
hold
not
on
talking
a
about
second,
tariffs
Kevin.
on
Well,
60
I hear you, but hold on. If we're talking about people, the average consumer, not necessarily the head honchos of businesses all across the globe, can they withstand the pressure of that sort of tax on the goods?
It's short-lived. There will be
but what's your timeline compared to, you don't know the average American's timeline, what they can actually survive. There's people right now who can't survive
400% tomorrow morning, Xi's on an airplane to Washington to cut a deal.
Oh, leave it up to CNN to put a combative black woman that just ignores everything that Kevin O'Leary just said. What about? No, we have to do this. It's not Trump's fault that people haven't saved $1,000. We all need to start doing better at saving money and trying to get rich, and it will be exponentially easier if we win this tariff war. So now let's get into the Treasury Secretary.
I think it's unfortunate that the Chinese actually don't want to come and negotiate because they are the worst offenders in the international trading system. They have the most imbalanced economy in the history of the modern world. And I can tell you that this escalation is a loser for them. That they have some very smart, the economists, the academicians, technocrats within their bureaucracy, and they would be telling the leadership that we do not have the edge here. They are the surplus country, that their exports to the U.S. are 5 times our exports to China. So they can raise their tariffs, but so what?
So what? Good job on Scott Bissett, man. He's really showing up and showing out and doing an excellent job. I'm glad that Trump picked him. So we just need to get ready to see how far this is going to go. I don't know if we're going to end up in a real war because China's economy is about to get absolutely decimated. That would be very childish of Xi Jinping to actually do that when, you know, it's not our fault that they've been stealing from us for 30 years. But check out Pete Hegseth. Looks like we're going to get that Panama Canal back, and he's not playing any games about it.
Makes Panama and the United States less secure, less prosperous, and less sovereign. And as President Donald Trump has pointed out, that situation is not acceptable. We are grateful to President Molino, Minister Abrego, and your teams, along with the Panama Canal Authority, for responding to these threats and safeguarding the canal. President Molino's decision to withdraw from the Belt and Road Initiative reflects his government's clear understanding of China and the threat it poses. I want to be very clear. China did not build this canal. China does not operate this canal. And China will not weaponize this canal. Together with Panama in the lead, we will keep the canal secure and available for all nations through the deterrent power of the strongest, most effective, and most lethal fighting force in the world.
Look, we have an absolutely phenomenal, really, really tough crew. I think they're absolutely going to take the Panama Canal back. I think we're absolutely going to win this tariff war. We got to push. We have to push. We cannot be pushovers. It's been happening too long. Bill Clinton sold us out years ago, putting everything overseas. It's time for us to get all that stuff back. It's time for us to take our power back as the #1 head honcho country in the world, the dominant country on the planet. Everybody suck it up, tough up, get ready, start stacking your food and your money so we can get through this hard time so we can all end up rich. You guys drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. You're watching the Unexplained Outlook, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.